our temple started around like it was built right 1970s. That's what brother or 1970.
70 and 77.
70 and 77. Wow, that's pretty old.
Excuse me?
That is pretty old. So our temple was renovated around like 2003. They felt it was much smaller than what it is right now. You know where you guys saw Ganesha, where his home, his altar, yes, his altar was. That was probably like how much space it was.
And so, since the establishment of the temple, we've constantly been renovating so we can have a bigger space for all the devotees to come to. And the renovation happened in, I think, 3 steps.
First, the outer foundation.
And that's where we had all the artisans come do all the different pillars and everything in front of the temple. And you see how we have like the Ganeshas in front of the temple. That was a work of artisans that came all the way from India, because if you're going to do something, you have to do it right. So we had to go all the way.
Wow, it seemed pretty harsh. Stop it. And the back, after the Ganesha altar, you will see we took the Shiva altar and we took the Murugan altar, right? And we just pushed it back. So now there's like even more space, and now it's granite. Before it was all carpet. And the other thing is that now we even have like the small altars for like the small gods, even though like they're the same names. It's like just smaller altars with the small gods, right? Yeah. And we have a bigger basement. It is really good. It's good for dance practice during Ganesha Pausal anniversary. And yeah, we have that. Yeah, so they're gonna explain that. And what else? Oh, we got a new shoe rack. I gotta say, that place looks really good. I mean, before it was like really tiny, and now it's like one of those nice temples. And it's new. I'm serious. I'm talking about the renovations. Might as well do that.
A major part of our temple is that we've been partnering with local, not Congress people, officials throughout the neighborhood so that we can greater connect with everyone around us. We had an art exhibition, I think, during
Diwali.
During the Queen's Museum there, and we had speeches, we had a whole art presentation, and it was really a good way to show the community all about our heritage and our culture, and it's a better way to sort of communicate with everyone that we're here and we're here to show everyone all about our culture.
Our temple is just trying to make a big benefit. And we're even the youth group is probably going to talk about this. We're even trying to like do a garden, but we're having some problems with the people, the community. We're trying to stop.
Okay, stop. Moving on with the restoration part of it, we have holidays. Well, we had like festivals for the renovation, because when you're moving the gods, you have to like take their energy, and all that energy that we've been, like when we pray, we're giving to God, in some cases, energy, and like all that energy of God, we move it in like these little copper tiles. I'm pretty sure they're copper. They're copper, right? Yeah, okay. So they're tiles, and like once we, during the Kumbhabhishekam, that was the holiday that we like put the tiles in, and like the restoration was complete of those specific gods. And during this time, we had an elephant over and a cow over, which stepped on me. Yeah, and it was like, you have a lot of fun, and we were able to like notice that there's like tiny towers, there are smaller towers, and then there are larger towers. And those like towers we were able to visit during that holiday. And yeah. Also, we have other holidays that are yearly. The Kumbhabhishekam happens like, doesn't happen that often. It's like every 12 years. It's
16, I think.
16? 16.
12.
12. Sorry. Yeah, and it's like a rejuvenation of the gods in some ways. So we also have annual holidays like Navaratri, which is like a 9-night holiday for the goddesses, and we have like this staircase pretty much, and like we put little dolls, and like each of them tell like a story. So like at the temple we'll have like different dolls, and they'll be placed in a certain way that tell a story. We also have Taguddi, which is a 9-day festival as well, and it's like very famous.
Okay, so about Chaturthi, it's specifically dedicated to Ganesha, which is you saw in the very center, and it's to celebrate his birthday. So what basically the first day is when they and the first day they do all like the pujas. Every single day there's pujas.
Pujas are?
Oh, sorry. Pujas are where they do like offerings to God. They say all their prayers and everything, and they have the fires that I said were the messenger.
It's like a ceremonial.
Yeah, the ceremonial things that they do in like intervals. They do it a couple of times a day, and they have like big groups sitting in. You guys didn't see this part, but it's behind the temple, and everyone. We have like a certain count of times that they need to say the same chant over, and they have everybody in a big group saying it, and the priests are having the fire over there. And that's like a big thing, and they also, are you going to volunteer?
Yeah.
Okay, and then on the last day, they have this thing called the Ratha Yatra, which is where they take our idol, and the men usually carry it on
The smaller one, the smaller one.
yeah, the smaller version of the idol, and they adorn it with flowers and jewelry and everything, and they put it in a big like altar, and the men carry it on the shoulder, and we take it all around.
No. There's a chariot.
On the last day, we
It's
have
on
a silver
chariot.
chariot for God, and we put him on there, and we take him all around Main Street. So first it goes around the temple, then it goes around all of Main Street. And it's so like the silver chariot should be pulled by like everybody. There's like a rope and like people pull it, but because that's not possible, we sort of like use a car, and the car brings it around, sort of like the boats that you guys were talking about the other day, canoes, right?
Canoes.
YMCA, yeah. So yeah, and during this day we walk around Main Street dancing, and like all the communities come out together. And this day, it's sort of like when you go around the temple, it's sort of like it's sort of a way to clean up the community as well, because the day before like everybody cleans up, and like because God's coming around and stuff like that. So it's also an environmental factor as well.
And they
yeah,
give
so we
food
dance.
everywhere. Like there's like you stop at this place and everybody gets different Indian
Gives
food,
us
soda, like juice and everything, and we go all around flushing.
Yeah, and also we also do every night, throughout the 9 days. We usually give out prasadam. That's like the blessed food that we during the pujas we bless the food, and then we give it out. And like it happens at a much greater extreme during Chaturthi. And so like everybody's packing, and there's like tables in the back, and like volunteers help pack up the food. So we have like yogurt rice, sambar rice, and like
You
a
don't know
bunch of
what that
sweets. Yeah, just different foods, and like it's a lot of fun, and we're giving out food to like pretty much.
It's for free, yeah, so it's like
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Like yeah, it's a good fun. Okay.
Yeah, okay. So Holi is the festival of colors. So like usually it's celebrated for 2 days. One day is like where they do the puja and they like celebrate. And then another day is where like you take colors and you technically like throw it in.
colored powder.
And it's like they're watered. It's technically the day where you like ruin everyone's clothing and you say, I'm sorry, it's Holi, so don't blame me. It's also the day where like there's this drink where like people get drunk that day, and it's just that fun, colorful.
Let's start.
Also, like the part where we're giving food for free, it's actually like the greatest way you can attain salvation is by giving food to people, because that's like sort of like
Seva, which is
it's
charity.
very important for us, and that's called Annadas.
Oh, well that, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Right, they're gonna explain like
And during the Chaturthi, how we have separate food packing and everything, it presents a great sense of community. While others are praying, we're trying to help out to each other. We're trying to create this big festival for each other.
Beautiful. Let's go back.
Okay, so we're gonna talk about the Padasala and like the anniversary and dances. So basically, there's a school behind the temple, and from the Navagrahas, you know, like the planets
We showed
and
you
the moon
that we showed you, yeah.
Yeah, so from there you can see it. It's like the yellow building in the back, and basically like kids from all ages go there. Like I've been going there since I was in kindergarten, and probably most of us. And basically like we get together and we help teach little kids. Like all of us are pretty much volunteers, and we take our time to teach them math, English. One uncle teaches religion, and there's like separate sections for like your age, religion group. And then you learn like other languages, like I take Tamil there, and there's also Hindi class and Sanskrit and other classes. Telugu. It's a lot of Yeah. And then And so we all go and we take our time to teach little kids about like math and English and help them prepare for like tests and like help them with homework, and it's just a lot of fun. Oh yeah. So when we were little, like, so we started out little, and then like after 8th grade, you could start teaching because you're old enough. So, yeah.
That was
But they also teach at the same time. Like there's other
No,
times.
we teach like math and English, not the languages.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But we started out learning
Our
from
moms
other
too.
people.
And then we started teaching.
Okay, so as we said before, our temple is like pretty old. So each year we have a temple anniversary program, which marks like the 50th or 55th or what's the last one? 50th anniversary. So we always have we always have one in December, which just celebrates how we've accomplished another year of being a temple in society. And what we do is all of our students, like from Stanza class, dance class, music class, math class, all of the classes get together and we perform, like drama, sing, dance, put on a skit, and it takes a lot of work. Like even though we meet only on Saturdays, we take time sometimes sitting on Sundays or taking just sometimes after school if it's necessary. But it's really fun. Everyone's in the basement, everyone's dancing, and then sometimes we'll all take a break, no matter what you're doing, if it's a skit or a dance. And we all just take a break and laugh and like chill out and stuff. And then when the day comes, it's all over the place. It's crazy. But yet at the end, we still put on a really grand show and everyone like loves it and it's just a really good time.
I love it too.
Okay, so like, well, I don't think it's going on now, but later on, there's gonna be a bunch of dance classes and music classes that happen. And so like, she does dance, I do dance, they do music, and like,
I do.
you guys know Abby, she does dance and music too. So dance and music have been a huge part of our culture, I guess. So like, dance itself has been around for like a good 3,000 years from like the beginning of time. So it's a pretty like ancient thing that we've just been carrying on because like it means like a lot of stuff. So if we sat here telling you about it, it would probably take like 2 years to do it. So we're not gonna do it. And so like we do Bharatanatyam. There's a bunch of different types of dance. There's like Odissi, Kathak, Kuchipudi, there we go. And so like each of them means a different thing, but we learn Bharatanatyam. So like that's like more for, remember that god Nataraja?
Yeah, we
Standing
showed
like
him the
this
god
and
dance.
stuff. Guys, you probably don't remember, it's okay. So, like, it's basically a dance inspired by him and, like, based off of whatever he taught and etc. So, yeah. And then you can say it. No, you say it.
Okay,
Go.
like, you know how we showed you a dance at the youth conference? That sort of resembles how we convey, like, the message of God or, like, the way he moves and just the story of God.
Because like there's like the belief that if he stops dancing, we all die. So yeah. Well,
He
it's not a
doesn't
very
stop
nice
dancing.
thing, but
Yeah.
like basically his Nataraja is like his energy for all of us comes through his dancing. So like the moment he stops, like the world kind of just stops in motion, like stops in time. So that's why like it's pretty significant in our culture. Yeah.
Another important thing is that all of us are from different communities. They don't live anywhere around here. I think me and Carter are the only people who actually live in this area. So like it brings together different communities and like usually like we would feel very disconnected with each other if like this temple wasn't here. So it's sort of like a gathering of like our people and like we're preserving this culture. Like people whenever I go to like another country and stuff like that, I'm speaking my language, people are surprised. They're like, whoa, an American speaking Tamil, and they get all really, really shocked. And the reason why we can do that is pretty much for the Pathsala.
Okay, so my name's Karthik.
I'm Gokul.
I'm Srini Kumar. Yeah, and we're going to be talking about the temple's outreach program. So the outreach program fulfills another part of what is preached in Hinduism, giving back to the community, where basically in the outreach program, primarily through youth, we try to better the community. For example, once every month, I believe, 1 or 2 families get together and we go to a soup kitchen and serve food, which is either made in the temple canteen or is sponsored by people from outside, and we go serve food there, or we better the environment. We did tree planting last time where we went to a place which was like a landfill, we cleaned up the place, and then we started planting trees. And then we do other things as well.
And along those lines of the environment, one of the things the temple started to do is we got a plot of land, not in Kasena Park, but around here in one of the parks. And what we're planning to do is that we're trying to like grow our own flowers and like cut them so as offering for the guys. So like we're trying to be more environmentally conscious as well. So that's another step for that. And another thing we did starting this year, we all went as a group, like the whole youth group and anyone else from the temple who wanted to. We went on the breast cancer walk. So being an active part of the community, helping around. I think that's one of the things that's another huge goal of our outreach center is not just like give back, but also to connect with other groups of people, because we are, aside from religion, we are all one huge community.
Alright, about the soup kitchens, like we help out with other people who don't have a home and everything like that. So we make our own lunches, like they're all vegetarian, and what we do is we give cookies, sandwiches, salads, right? And we give them to people who are desperately in need. So it's like helping out, like reaching out to others, like when things are kind of rough.
So in November, we had a temple-sponsored event, which was the Hindu Temple Youth Conference, and that was an event which was sponsored by a doctor auntie who's in that office over there, and and she wanted Hindu Americans to be proud of Hinduism and to express Hinduism in our society. So she brought in, well, not really she, but her sort of assistants. She brought in like the Pix 11 TV news anchor Sukanya Krishnan, a captain from the U.S. Army, Rajiv Srinivasan, and many other people, like supporting cast, and then and they all spoke together about Hinduism, how they felt. Like I can recall from Mr. Captain Srinivasan that he was from Roanoke, Virginia, and he didn't know much about Hinduism. He didn't practice Hinduism in his house, and when he decided to join the army and went to West Point Military Academy, he then really started to understand Hinduism and decided to use it more as a belief system.
And the youth conference was sort of the product of a group effort. It was put together by another mentor named Ramya, and so many other people who, so many other people like in their 20s and everything, who just sort of brought this together to educate everyone else around us.
And it inspired us for like different career choices as well, because they spoke about their careers as well. Ramya, she used to be in the youth club when she was little, and so she's giving back as well to something that helped her grow.
Thank you.
That's really it. One final thing is that when we first came to New York, people expect us to like completely forget our culture and completely become Americanized. But because of this institution, we're able to deal with this, find a balance between being an American and a Hindu American. So it's very important that this institution is here for us.
So does anyone have any questions?
I know. It can be about
Yes.
When was the building renovated?
2003.
It was an ongoing process.
It's still going on.
It's still going on. You see the other part still needs to be done.
And something about that is when it first started, some of us, especially me, I didn't want it to happen because this is my home, so I felt really sad about that. But the fact that it was renovated is also a good thing. We sort of miss certain aspects of it, but there's a lot more we're able to do in this environment now that it's bigger and it's expanding. And it's a good thing.
Yeah, we're able to have all these dance classes and music classes in the basement because we have so much more space now.
We explained that well.
Where do the priests live?
There's
The temple buys them houses upstairs.
The priests mostly come from India, right?
Yeah, because you can have a 12-year process, a learning process, as Mohan uncle just said. So I mean, you can't really.
The teachers are also teaching in India. They don't really have teachers over here.
So are there any priests who are U.S. born, who are from your community?
There's like 1 or 2 priests where they work somewhere. They have a job during the weekdays, but on the weekends they come here.
And the priests, many, like a few of them, they have young children who also learn from the Pathshala. So it's not only them, but their families are a part of this community as well.
Can I ask, like, all of you all? I mean, I'm curious to hear, like, if from their presentations, what do you see as being kind of similar or different, similar and or different to the ways that your own organizations work? Because I mean, what strikes me is that the religious beliefs of Hinduism, Islam, and Christianity may be very different in a lot of ways, but the roles that your congregations and organizations like play in the community may be very similar, right? So YMPJ and ILS and the Ganesh Temple, you're all doing community service in different ways. You all have, arts and music, or I don't know about ILS, but I know YMPJ and the Ganesh Temple has like arts and music as part of the so I don't know, like what other kind of similarities do you see or differences? Yeah.
We all help people.
Right, there's a huge service element to every one of these organizations. Yeah.
I all do social recreational activities, my event to show people.
Yeah, it's got to be fun too, right? Recreational activities. I mean, we're in favor of them.
It seems to be very community driven across the board. It's very community driven across the board.
What about you guys? What else did I mean, from the visits that we did to the Bronx last week, what struck you all as sort of similarities and differences between the communities?
I was actually really impressed by YMPJ's effort to create a park and comparing before and after pictures and knowing that there was all that time that they had to work, all that, they actually gave back something so major and I feel like we can do that too and we do small events.
See, YMPJ, you're gonna inspire the next temple to start creating new parks in Flushing.
Once we saw that place, we were all talking oh my gosh, we can do just as many things as they can, if not we can do things too, and we do small things, but nothing as major as creating a park, and we can do that as well. So it was very inspirational.
I think we have somebody driving you, you guys had somebody pushing you, the lady we met from YMPJ, she was pushing, yeah, she was really pushing for it. I think we have somebody who takes up a stand to do that. We get a lot done. It's just that everybody wants things, and then it's oh, let's do that, and then it never happens because we don't follow through with it. That's why.
And one thing I realized about all of the different groups that we've been participating with is that everyone is so much more than just an institution or a building or a group of people. We're all a community of people who want to do something for our communities. We want to do something better than just be here. We just want to make a difference for everyone else. And I think that's something that really deserves a round of applause on everyone.